Hello there, all you beautiful ladies and gentlemen of the internet. It is I, Hazuki Warrior 921 here, bringing you with yet another exciting game review. It's been a while since I made one of these, and today's review is on the technical sequel to Sonic 1 and the prequel to Sonic 2. That's right, I'm talking about Sonic CD today. In case if you didn't know, Sonic CD is technically Sonic 1.5. And even though if it officially released a year or so after Sonic 2, I thought that it'd be a little more fun to look at things in timeline order for the classic games. So, with that being said, why don't you sit back, relax, and enjoy this review of Sonic CD. Let's travel through time, folks. Here we go. And get right into it. Alright, let's first cover my favorite part of games that I really like, the story. This, next to the Sonic 3 story, might be my favorite storyline in the classic Sonic era. The game opens with Sonic journeying to Neverlake, where this mysterious planet appears right above the area. The planet, known as Little Planet, only appears on the last month of every year, which means December, I think. I've also heard that it only appears once every so many years from other sources, so I'm not sure which is true, but this is based on the Japanese version story, so I'm guessing that the first one I mentioned is true, not the latter. Anyway, Sonic's nemesis, Dr. Robotnik/Eggman, has tethered the planet to a mountain and has begun transforming it into a giant fortress with his robot army. Robotnik is also seeking out the Time Stones, 7 jewels capable of altering the passage of time, and they only appear on Little Planet. Sonic then ventures onto the planet and is followed by the besotted Amy Rose, his self-proclaimed girlfriend. Yes, this is her first appearance in the series. Robotnik dispatches his top robotic enforcer, Metal Sonic, who kidnaps Amy to lure Sonic into danger. Sonic clashes with both Robotnik and Metal Sonic throughout his journey, and uses time travel on the planet to gather the Time Stones in order to save it before Robotnik uses the Time Stones for evil. I really like the setup that the story has to offer, and for the fact the game also introduces 2 brand new iconic Sonic characters, Amy Rose and Metal Sonic. That's pretty great. You know, they're 2 of my favorite characters of the series, and Sonic wouldn't be Sonic quite without them. However, I'm not that big of a fan of there being 7 Time Stones specifically instead of there being maybe 6, like Sonic 1 had. Sort of, and I'll get into why I'm not a fan of there being 1 more Time Stone. And if you know the series and the Chaos Emeralds, you kind of might know where I'm going with this. See, in the other Sonic games, following after Sonic the Hedgehog 2, there have been 7 Chaos Emeralds in the majority of the series. And although Sonic CD takes place after Sonic 1, it obviously came out after Sonic 2 in 1993 for the Genesis's add-on, the Sega CD. And you do not get some sort of super power-up after gathering all 7 Time Stones, which is a little bit of a bummer, because in the other Sonic games, we have the iconic super form power-up, Super Sonic, ever since Sonic 2, after you get all 7 Chaos Emeralds. However, to be fair, I can kind of forgive this for a few reasons. Other than not being some kind of power-up, I can kind of just not really care, because A, the special stages are pretty fun in this game, so I don't mind there not being a reward that much anyways. In a way, the journey kind of is the reward for me. As you can see, you're in this 3D type field chasing down UFOs with a timer at the top of the screen. Once you destroy all the UFOs, you're granted a Time Stone. If you touch the water/land in it, then the timer drops significantly. However, the purple UFOs grant you bonuses. Or I think it might be the blue ones, but I'm sure it's the purple ones. I don't remember, but I'll find out as soon as I see the footage, including extra time. So overall, these special stages are a ton of fun and are probably my favorite next to the ones in Sonic Mania, which are also fantastic. Reason B, or 2, being this game was being developed while Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was being developed at the same time. Sonic 2's management and team, which were Sonic Team, were both they were stationed in North America while Sonic CD was being developed in Japan. And a part of that team was the lead head of the Sonic series, his father basically, Yuji Naka, the man who developed Sonic 1. Sometime during development, Naka-san came across a certain Super Saiyan in a certain comic issue or / manga, and well, the rest is history, and we'll get into that in my Sonic 2 review. However, no such inspiration came to be while Sonic CD was being developed over in Japan. And the third and C reason is kind of the same as B. As I was saying, I'll get into it. Sonic 2 and Sonic CD, while they're both being developed separately, they were originally going to be one ginormous game with the help of the Sega CD add-on attachment. Basically, what I think Sega was trying to do was design a Sonic game on a cartridge and a CD-ROM disc as one giant game, or use the CD-ROM disc for like extra bonus features. That's what I think they were going to do. They're going to package them together. But they are obviously not one game, and I think that too has something to do with why there was no super power-up of any sort. The previous story, like I mentioned, is kind of an explanation of why I think this affects what overall happened. Personally, I think that it would have been cool if Sonic could time travel at will once he had all time stones with 50 rings under his belt. Throughout the stages on Little Planet, there are past and future signs that Sonic passes through. If he goes fast enough, he can travel through time. Ideally, you've got to travel to the past first and destroy these robot generators in order to create a good future for the story. And if you do this, you'll get the good/best ending of the game. However, if Sonic gets damaged in any sort of way after you pass through a sign, then you lose your opportunity to time travel and you cannot reuse the signs. Once they're used, they're flipped and you can't reuse them again, but there's a lot all over the stages, but it's kind of hard to get back in the past sometimes. However, it doesn't really matter to travel through time in the game. If you are able to collect 50 rings in the stages, you're able to jump into a special stage, much like in Sonic 1 at the end of the level. Once you're in that stage, you have the opportunity to collect a time stone. And once you collect all 7 time stones, you automatically get good futures from there on out throughout the rest of the game. So if you finish the game with all time stones, but you didn't time travel to the past to destroy the robot generators, you'll be alright. You'll still get the good/best ending of the game. You're gonna be fine. You just gotta collect, either collect the time stones or destroy the robot generators. You can do both, but that's up to you if you want to play the game that much. You don't have to do it that way. Alrighty, I think that this is a decent way to segue into talking about the gameplay. So without further ado, let's talk about the gameplay. Sonic CD, in terms of gameplay, basically feels like a beefed up version of Sonic 1. Some of the stages are reimaginings and revamps of the stages from Sonic 1, while also bringing some new stages and ideas to the table. Sonic also has a couple of new abilities added to him from Sonic 1 and 2. If you hold the up button and press the jump button, Sonic does this cool new move called the Super Peel Out. As you can see, he instantly goes at full speed, but is still vulnerable to enemies. Also, the spin dash is in this game, but it's a little different than it was from Sonic 2. You have to hold the down button, you have to hold it down and then press the jump button only once, and then boom, Sonic goes once you let go. However, if you're playing the 2011 remake of the game, aka the Christian Whitehead remake, the traditional spin dash is an option in the game. So is Tails. That's right, yes, after you beat the game once as Sonic, you get to unlock Tails in Sonic CD 2011. If you know the Sonic series, even just a little, then hopefully Tails is recognizable to you. I'll cover him more in the Sonic 2 review though, so don't worry. Sonic CD feels like the other classic games, but I feel that its control is just right in this game. I can say the same thing about Sonic 3K and Sonic Mania. Their controls are spot on perfect. However, the control feels just a tad too stiff in Sonic 1 to me, and just a little too loose in Sonic 2. Just a bit, like you probably haven't thought about it before, but it's definitely there. I don't know, just Sonic 3, CD, and Mania, they just got it right out of the 5 classic games. And if we're including Knuckles Chaotix, which I've only played a little bit of, it feels just a little off there too. The level design is a mix of great and wacky. Sometimes the stages are just completely bonkers and you may not fully know what the heck is going on. It can obviously be a little distracting, but other times things are pretty smooth. And then there's this soundtrack. Oh my god, do I love this game's music. Holy moly guacamole. I prefer the original Japanese score for sure for the game, but I also really do admire and like the uniqueness of the North American OST as well. See, I think there was some legal issues with the Japanese music team at the time, and they didn't want their music in the game for the American version for some reason, so Sega of America had to create their own soundtrack, hire their own people, and they did a pretty good job with this overall. However, if you travel to the past with the North American music on, or if you're playing the original North American copy of the game, the original Japanese songs are still there. That's a little weird to me, but I don't know, that's just what's going on. What's also a little weird is that the Japanese theme song of the game, Sonic You Can Do Anything, does not include the lyrics when you play the 2011 version in the opening cinematic. And the same thing happens with the closing song, Believe in Yourself, I think, too. Again, if you're playing it, those are the Japanese music tracks with lyrics in them, but they're not. The lyrics aren't there. The lyrics are cut. I think it has something to do with the artist, but I heard this a long time ago, so I don't know if it's still true or not. I don't know, but alright, so overall, this kind of concludes my Sonic CD review. I didn't talk too much about the level design. I think the level design is a little bit crazy, but not bad. It kind of turned me off when I first played this game a lot, because I noticed that people who first play Sonic CD, they don't like it that much because of the level design. But also I've noticed that people who play the game over years and years and years of experience with it and have gotten more into it, grow to like the game and grow to admire it, and I'm one of those people. I used to not like it that much, but over time, Sonic CD is definitely one of my favorite classic Sonic games. I mean, I think that it's a fantastic platformer of a game. Again, I used to kind of not like the game all that much, but over the years, yes, it's grown on me very much. Heck, I think I like it more than Sonic 1 and 2. If you still have not checked it out and have accessibility to it, I recommend that you do, especially if you've already played Sonic 1, 2, 3K, Ainslash, or Mania. If you play the other classic Sonic games, all 4 of them, but not this one, then you should. It fits right at home with those other 4 games, and is surely a title not to be forgotten. Until next time, folks, this is Hazuki Warrior 921 signing out. Toot Sonic Warriors, and have a good one. That was a lot of fun. Nothing gets by the way